You know, it may not have seemed like it so far, but 2025 is going to be a year of excitement when it comes to crypto, and especially when it comes to Shiba Inu, especially when this one thing does take place. But what's interesting is that there was actually a panel of 26 crypto experts that were actually polled on Shiba Inu. And what was interesting about this is whether it was 2025, 2030, or 2035, there was an overall bullish sentiment for what comes next. And we're going to talk about that in this video, as well as what my thoughts are still for this cycle. So again, if you guys haven't already, show your support for the channel. It's been growing like crazy. Again, it's all because of you guys. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. But what we're seeing right here for the day is just kind of a lot of ebbs and flows. The market's trying to decide what direction it's going to head for the day. And really, I think I'm really getting the feeling that this coming week is going to be very green. And maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. Who knows what's going to happen? Maybe there are surprises that pops up, but you could really start to feel the shift in the overall crypto market, the shift when it comes to Shiba Inu. And like I talked about earlier today, these fundamentals are starting to change the momentum. They're starting to change the direction overall, which is a very good sign. But obviously we want to know where things are going to head here in 2025. And what was interesting is that this panel of 26 crypto experts had some bullish projections about where things are in fact headed. Now, when these people were asked, the average projection for SHIB at year close at the end of 2025 is actually 40399. Now, obviously that sucks. I hate that projection, but it is up from where price is at currently. Obviously, that's very close to what this cycle high was. That is over a 3x in terms of price currently, almost a 3.5x. Actually, it is a 3.5x. So that would be obviously a nice increase from here. But I still have much more bullish projections for this year. In fact, some of these analysts, their projections were at much higher levels. 406 from Gracie Chen, the CEO of BitGet. When we look at, hopefully I'm saying this right now, Rudan O, founder of Seasonal Tokens, projecting 405. And then Ronan, oh gosh, I'm butchering these names. Ronan Kojokaru as the most bullish, forecasting 40743. So this is obviously a 510% increase from where we're at currently, but still below the prior all-time high. The bearish side, they're projecting 401. So again, you're even seeing the most bearish of these analysts talking about Shiba Inu price not adding back a zero. So this is actually a very good sign. And obviously this, I'll talk more about the 2025 price in just a moment, but their projections for even as time goes on, 2030, 2035, they're talking about a bullish acceleration in terms of price. So what they're talking about is by 2030, seeing SHIB price climb to 30197. So that's over a 10x from where we're at currently. And by the 2035, 3085. Okay, that's dropping off almost 2 zeros. That's Shiba Inu doing a 75x from where we're at currently. I mean, there's a lot of excitement for what Shiba Inu can do, and hope my math is probably wrong on that as far as 75x. But we're talking about bullish momentum heading into the future. Now, me personally, guys, here's the thing. SHIB price has done some pretty exceptional things so far here in 2025. I'm sorry, in this bull market cycle in general, right? Rising from all the way down at 506 to now, even in bearish times, sitting at 4012, so still up over 2x from our bear market cycle bottom. But what's I find very interesting about this, and what I think people seem to forget, is that during this market cycle, we haven't had any really big times of adoption. It's been little spurts here and there, right? We had the spurt, obviously, at the end of February into March of 2024. We had the spurt of adoption in November of 2024. So 2024 was kind of a year of mixed adoption, just kind of here and there. And really right now, the masses, they're frankly not paying attention to crypto. And why I'm saying this is when we actually look at App Store downloads, oh crap, it just refreshed. When we look at App Store downloads, the top free apps, this is actually a really good way to see where retail sentiment is. Right now, the only exchange app that is even close to the top is Robinhood at 120. Nowhere else in any of these apps in the top 200 is anything crypto related. And what that typically means is that we're near, or we're in or near the bottom. All right. Because frankly, retail doesn't give a crap. They don't adopt at times when prices are frankly crap, and prices have been crap throughout the space. So don't get my words twisted. I'm not saying SHIB's crap. Everything has just sucked as of late. Okay. But now we're starting to feel a little bit of a pivot in the market. We're starting to again feel some of that capital roll back into the space. And this is what accelerates us towards adoption. We need to be kind of down here in this, 4.5%, 4% and below range in order for adoption to take place. You need to see all the news calm down about tariffs. You need to see the economic uncertainty take a chill pill. That is what brings us to times where they're conducive for adoption. And what's very interesting about this is I see people keep sleeping on this data, right? We keep talking about SHIB fundamentals and how it's good and how it's remained good. And during these times, that stuff isn't as big of a deal for like a pump right now, but it's big when the charts start moving. Because if you just had, let's say 100,000 new holders enter the market for Shiba Inu, which we have, that plan on holding long-term, which they do, which is why we're seeing this sustainability here. How does that impact price moving forward? It's removed a lot of supply from the market. All right. Whether that's on exchanges, whether that's in DeFi, that's why we've also seen a lot of that exchange supply be removed and rolled into cold storage or a hot wallet or wherever it is, but it's not actively sitting there ready to unload in the crypto market. And when this acceleration of adoption does take place, that is where SHIB performs its best. When we look at all these exchanges, SHIB is frankly the lowest price asset that's on all these different exchanges. Okay, what I mean by that is, when you're looking at 4012 for SHIB at $84,000 BTC, what is retail more likely to buy? They're more likely to buy SHIB. All right. And this isn't me making stuff up. If you guys remember, excuse me, even as we were heading into the bear market cycle, what would that have been? 2022, a very interesting trend emerged. And that was that the top 3 most searched assets, the most visited assets, the most paid attention to in the entire world were Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Shiba Inu. So Shiba Inu, even at that point, had more optics than Dogecoin, which we know Dogecoin obviously was a higher market cap. Excuse me. Huge congestion, I guess. But what we need present, guys, is we need optics. We need adoption to take place to start hitting some of these more aggressive prices. Now, that being said, I still think we're setting a new all-time high this year. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. All right. SHIB has shown enough in this market cycle that it's likely to set a new all-time high. It's going to surprise a lot of people. And I think that's where really things kick off. Because a lot of the people that wrote off SHIB, that thought it was dead, that didn't think anything was going to happen, they're like, oh crap, it's happening. And then they chase and FOMO ensues. And because we have very thin liquidity above these ranges, and because there are a lot of people that are unwilling to dump their bags even here, you could see SHIB run from the prior all-time high to, 3019 over the course of days. Despite SHIB at that point being, what would that be? $100 billion market cap at that point, you could still see SHIB move like something that's a $100 million market cap. That's where this gets really interesting. And we'll start having some more of those discussions as time goes on. But my projections for this cycle still have not changed. I think SHIB is going to be the best performing blue chip asset in this cycle. And I don't even think it's going to be close. Yes, there are some other ones that are going to perform exceptionally well. That wouldn't surprise me. This is going to be a big adoption cycle in general. But a lot of people sleeping on SHIB right now, I think, are going to be very surprised as we move through these next few months. So let me know your thoughts below. Where do you think SHIB price is headed in this cycle? Do you agree it's going to be more tempered like these experts? Do you see more of a blow off top taking place? But have a great day. Share your love below. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.